it's time for Transformers Tuesday, and this week we're looking at Kingdom Huffer. Now, this grumpy little lad was actually one of the first dudes I wanted to review, but I felt like Ironhide was a better pick as I'd had him for much longer. Here, we have him in his little truck mode, and look at it, it's adorable. All squished up with his little penny racer proportions, look it up. He's got massive exhaust pipes near the side, an attribute his mold mate would take a little further. Plus, a huge cheese grate of a grill. The wheels on this guy are some of the best I've seen in a while. No ugly pegs or pins sticking out. And did I mention he's got windscreen wipers? Yeah, they went that far for this guy. That's not all either. He comes with a gun and a shield, which he'll use in a minute in robot mode, but here in truck mode, they can be connected like so to form a little truck bed. Like, what? This isn't accurate to anything. And yet, I want this kind of weapon integration in all my figures. Such a small change that completely changes everything. Oh, and I'm still not done. They even added a little port on the back, so you can wheel around Earthrise Optimus Prime's trailer from that one scene in the cartoon. Is he gappy though? Oh yes. He has the same issue a lot of later Wave Kingdom toys had, where they were a little more simple with the engineering, which meant there's a lot of cut corners, like the back not sitting flat, or the hands sticking out of the pipes. But it could have been a lot worse. Why don't my legs work? Moving on to transformation, and this is quite strange. See, he's quite basic and straightforward to do, but unlike, say, Ironhide from earlier, he's not satisfying to transform, as parts like to clash a lot. Despite it being fiddly, it's still quite interesting. These wheels folding inside the robot is something I see them do a lot more lately in figures like 86 Hot Rod or Jazz. And I think it's a cool way to translate the simple designs of the 80s cartoons to toy form, a thing which Huffer here doesn't really do, but not necessarily in a bad way. Accuracy is a thing which is very important in toy collecting fandoms, and Transformers is no exception. Huffer here doesn't care. Away with his old weedy pipe arms, now buff as anything. Gone is the Huffer that would whine when things weren't going his way. Another part of this is the head sculpt. His original cartoon head had slightly creepy diamond shapes around the eyes, and while this guy still has it, it's much more subtle. Now unfortunately, that late wave simplicity comes back to haunt him here, and makes his legs and backpack hollow as heck. For articulation, he has all the joints he needs, bar a wrist swivel, but that backpack can get in the way sometimes, although it is on a double hinge, so you can move it out of the way if need be. One thing that is a little annoying is how small he is. See, I don't mind the height of a figure, but what annoys me is when a figure is smaller than the standard, they usually use the plastic they take away from the height, and made the transformation more complex or the robot mode more solid. Case in point, 86 Hot Rod, a bot who, while being sold as a Voyager, is really deluxe size give or take, and makes up for it with the cleanest robot mode I've ever seen, plus a ton of accessories. Huffer here didn't get that treatment, and ends up being small and hollow. He might not be as thin as Black Arachnia, but he's still as light. But you see, this doesn't mean he's a bad toy. Could he do with improvements? Yeah, but he's fun. Something dudes like that 86 Hot Rod struggle to be sometimes. He may be simple, but that means I pick him up off the shelf more to mess around with and transform back and forth. And I mean, that alt mode alone is just killer. I think if you like what you see, and you want a Huffer that doesn't play by the same rules as the other chunk figures, then you should give Kingdom Huffer a try. So yeah, that was Huffer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't know, I have 3 other Transformers Tuesdays already up, and this channel is actually a maker channel for the most part. So go check out those builds. In fact, here's a sneak preview of my next one. Any guesses what it is? Put it down in the comments. I'll catch you next time. Farewell!